Welcome to Happy Wolf Art and episode 9 of Medieval Comics. This week we're looking at Brian Wood's Icelandic Trilogy, which is part of the Northlander series he has, and I will be dealing with the Northlander series in various parts. This is the last few issues, about 9 issues of the Northlander series, so theoretically I'm starting at the end, but I'm going to jump around in that series because there is about 50 issues to that entire series. So I'm going to break that up a little bit. But before we begin, I just want to bring everybody's attention to my YouTube page, which you're obviously on. Here are my playlists. There's all kinds of different videos here that may be of interest. So do check out the playlist. I have a medieval toy section, pop culture toys on medieval topics. I have some videos about different art pieces that I've done in the past. I'm currently working on a project called the California Kids, and there's Vikings involved in that story. It's more of a cartooning style. I have a published book on Amazon regarding the early Middle Ages and the Germanic tribes. There's also a series here on all ages comics, and then obviously medieval comics, which may be what you're interested in. Also, if you'd like any more information, you can follow me on my Instagram. It's Happy Wolf Art 1, and I post a lot of information on there about my current project, sketches, and some of the characters in the current series. Different logo stuff that I've done. Here's some grip tape art for skateboarding stuff. I've done various images for skateboarding art also, and surfing art, medieval art. Anyways, check it out. That's on my Instagram, Happy Wolf Art 1. All right, so let's get back to Brian Wood's series. So Brian Wood is a prolific writer, and he deals a lot with historical topics, so this would be considered historical fiction. And the artist is Paul Azaceta. He's a well-known name in the industry. I think he's worked on Spider-Man and BPRD, if I remember correctly. So this is part 1, Settlement, and this is a trilogy in the sense that it's in 3 parts. So issues 1, 2, and 3 deal with a certain time period. And then they jump to the conversion time period, which is a little bit later in Icelandic history, and then ultimately to the 1200s. But it follows a family line of people. This Val Hauker is the first generation. So if you're interested in Icelandic settlement history, early medieval sagas, this will be a story for you. And it follows Ulf Hauksson, who takes a central role in issues 2 and 3. And then it skips a few generations to the 5th generation. So Hauksson is a medieval Germanic family name. So I'm not 100% sure if he used all historical sources for this family or the tribe of the Hauksson, but he may have. So anyways, here's a couple images of the art. And the art, I would say it's not inspired in the sense that it could be better, but it's definitely enjoyable. His style, Azakeda's style, is more suited to a lot of black tones, and I personally find his line work to be sort of simplistic, but it does pretty well for the story, and a nice splash page here with some Viking ships. So this is part 1, Settlement, 871. In the 870s, that's roughly when Scandinavians started to settle Iceland. There were people there before them, but you can look into that on your own. if you're interested, here's issue 2, Security. There's a twist in the story that's pretty violent and surprising. So I'll leave that for you to discover. And issue 3, Slavery. Okay, and we obviously jump from 886 to 999, conversion. Iceland's conversion, as far as the entire island, generally speaking, is about 1000 AD. Converts to Christianity. So he jumps to a 5th generation of the Hauksson family here for this issue. Part 5 also. There's various intrigue and plotting as more and more settlers come to Iceland. And here, commerce. The art changes with issue, it looks like issue 4. Shalvi is the artist's last name, Declan Shalvi, and I'm not familiar with this individual artist, but his line work, I would say, is more interesting to me personally. It's a little bit finer and has a little bit more feeling to it. Not a lot of shade in the sense of cross-hatching, but it's decent and it's enjoyable. So, and one of the critiques of, I would say, the entire series is that the artwork fades as the series progresses, and I'm not sure if that has to do with money or time, but that's one of the unfortunate parts of it. The story is still super engaging. Obviously, these covers are really, really good too. So the last artist you can see is here at the top, and I'll give you a quick glimpse of his art. You can see here the family's in the 10th generation, Godar Hauksson. And you can see that the art definitely is fairly simple at this point, almost in a rough form, like storyboards or something. But that's the style of the art towards the end of this arc. And we have part 8 here. This is in the year 1260. And see a nice shield wall here in perspective, a great piece. And then this is the final issue. This is the cover. So this can be found on Amazon if you wanted the graphic novel version. Here it is. You can see paperback, it's about $18. You can find it for less, about $12. New and used, you can check on Amazon and also eBay. I'm sure you can find them fairly inexpensively on eBay. So anyways, Brian Wood's Northlanders, the Icelandic trilogy about the settlement of Iceland following a clan called the Hauksson clan or tribe family, and the various intrigues and involvement it had in the settlement history of Iceland. And again, I don't know if that is true historically, this family name, or if it's a mixture of history and fiction. So, all right, thank you for joining, and consider subscribing, liking, and visiting my Instagram if you're interested. And thanks again.